Hello and welcome to our first episode of Realness. My name is Anansa.
And I'm Aaron.
And welcome. For this first episode, we have something a little special planned. We're going to be doing a two-part episode. In the first part, we'll be talking about Batman versus Superman. And in the second part, we'll be talking about Civil War.
Yeah, we always feel we should go mediocrity before beauty. So
let's get into it. Batman versus Superman. Let's preface this a little bit with the fact that we are actually both huge DC fans.
Huge.
We both love DC characters. We've seen every DC animated movie.
We literally just watched one.
We've watched every DC animated show and like Young Justice, Batman animated series.
Teen Titans. Not Go, though. Teen Titans Go, stop.
So to preface that, just so you know that we are not DC haters when we tell you that we hated this movie. Ooh, we hated this movie. So, spoiler alert. So, anyone who has not seen the movie and actually cares about spoilers, you should probably just skip this episode and go into our next episode. Will be more structured in how most of the episodes will go from then on.
Yeah, but like also what I'm saying is like we live in a digital age and this episode is like on the internet, so just go watch the movie and come back to us, then we'll see where we are.
So we can have a dialogue. We can open a little dialogue. So a bit of the plot summary.
So what happened was, it's like we get there, right? We get to the movie. Oh, you mean the movie? Okay.
Yes.
I was going to talk about how we had them delicious fries at the Alamo Draft House. Shout out to the Alamo Draft House of Greater New York, because it's amazing. Anyway. So, okay, what really happened was, so the movie, it starts, right? Curtain, or whatever the movie equivalent is. And some shit is happening in Metropolis. Oh, if you saw Man of Steel, you know what the shit is happening. And so shit's flying everywhere. Superman is like trying to save the world, but nobody knows that. Everyone just thinks just like aliens having like a family reunion dispute. Like, people are trying to snatch each other's alien wigs and shit. And it's not cute. So they're totally fucking up Metropolis. And Bruce Wayne is like, yo, I'm here. Gotta save my building because secretly I'm Batman. And as Bruce Wayne does, he rushes into the fray to like save bitches. And he's like helping everybody out and it's super cute. And then he sees Superman like fighting and he's just like, that bitch. I hate you. And so,
and this is juxtaposed with another origin story of Bruce's parents being killed in Crime Alley by Joe Chill, which we've all seen a million times. But there is a beautiful sequence when Martha's necklace gets caught in the gun and it snaps when the gun. Yeah, it snaps when the gun goes off, and it's quite beautifully shot.
That moment like needed a spotlight because I was just like, I wasn't there for the rest of it. Usually, you know what I mean. For most of it, I was just kind of like, okay, that's cool. But that scene, I was just like, yes,
beautiful cinematography.
Sip on my milkshake. Meanwhile, I had a milkshake, and I was like, yes,
that. And then the next scene is Lois Lane in the desert and
for an unexplained reason.
Never explained. Jimmy Olsen is shot because who wants Jimmy Olsen? The person who always is on Superman's side and believes in Superman has no use in this universe. So he gets shot in the head.
And it's just so fun because like we'd never met him before, and he just
we barely know. Like if you aren't a DC fan, you wouldn't know that was Jimmy. I feel
and they like slipped it in too. They were just like, hey, like Jimmy.
Did they say that? Did they even say his name? I just feel like he was a photographer with Lois Lane, and you just like assume because he's just like, ooh, he's a CIA agent. And you're just like, the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I was just like, what do you mean? Okay,
sure.
Dead.
Lois Lane gets caught up in some shit and Superman comes to save her because I guess they have a telepathic, like throughout the entire movie, every time she's in trouble, he like knows. And it's like, how do you know?
Like, does he like,
was he there? Was he not in Metropolis? Was he with her?
No, I just feel like he has like his super hearing like focused on the like pulsing of her uterus or something. Like I don't know how he can distinguish which uterus it is, but he is there like a dog with a whistle. You know what I mean? He just comes out and he's like, I'm gonna save you, Lois. And she's just like, all right, baby, you do it. So and he saves her. And it's super cute. Shit
happens that I really couldn't like. It's unnecessary. Like
most of this movie is unnecessary.
It's Superman doing a whole bunch of nothing, and then Batman being like, I hate Superman.
I fucking hate you.
We meet Lex Luthor, and at first you think he's going to be this cool kind of Mark Zuckerberg Lex Luthor, like a Lex Luthor for our generation.
Yeah, like I was just like, I am here for millennial Lex Luthor. I am here to see him take over this shit like Google. Like, I am so excited. And then
he just turned out to be 3 different Lex Luthors at once. It was like infantile Lex Luthor, twitchy Lex Luthor, like just so fucking twitchy.
And then weirdest, like, could be seen as a sexual moment, but isn't, involving a Jolly Rancher, a cherry Jolly Rancher. He was specific. I just wasn't here for that because he has
so much potential.
And he didn't show up. He didn't show up for the occasion. Like, Lex Luthor is such an important character. And he just wasn't there.
I mean, I don't know if I'd go as far. I mean, is he like Batman's Joker? I mean, like, I feel like in the sense that he is like the main villain of Superman, but like, I feel like he's not like comparable to Joker.
Well, I mean, I feel like nobody's comparable to Joker because Joker's a special kind of crazy.
Oh, such a special kind of crazy.
Not as special as Harley's kind of crazy, though, because that's a special dick hungry crazy. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk about that some other time. I feel like Lex Luthor is like in the same way that like Batman is like this iron will, I will save the day, and Joker's just like this, like, I fucking want to see everything burn. Mm-hmm. Superman is like, I see the good in everything. Mm-hmm. I see the good in people. And Lex Luthor is like, knowledge is power, bitch, and I see all of y'all's flaws. I see how all of you are a liability to me and to the world. So I think that's how he's his foil. Mm.
Yeah. He's like kind of like, while Superman always sees the good in people, I think Lex is always just like, you're all bad because we're people and humans are bad.
Side note, we don't mean this Superman. Yeah, we mean good Superman. We mean Superman in general,
not this husk of a Superman. Oh, he's just empty inside, isn't he? Just has Henry Cavill's pretty face to just support that.
And like, they were really specific in choosing that pretty face because that face carried it for a while.
It did.
Until I don't know, for me personally, while watching the movie, there was a specific moment where I was like, okay. And I think it's when he was like, you know what? Nobody can stay good.
Oh,
peace out. Bye.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that moment. And so then, like, the next thing is like, Batman realizes that he needs to get into Lex's hard drive to find out like what, like to find out what he knows about Superman because Batman has a hard on just to take Superman down, and like the beginning sequence kind of like says a little bit about like why he hates him, but it's just this kind of like neurotic obsession that it's just like I feel like it's not explored enough to explain like why it's this like singular thing, like that whole thing of just like if even there's a 1% chance that he could be bad, then he needs to be taken out. Like
then we have to take it with absolute certainty.
And like I feel like that's not a good enough. Like I feel like as you had talked to me before that the movie tries to explain away a lot in like a one sentence instead of, it does a lot of telling and not showing.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like when that moment happened, like everybody was Alfred and all of us were just like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. But whatever, Batman, you
sure.
do you. You paid the bills, so here you go.
So there's the party where Bruce and Clark meet, and we get our first glimpse of Diana, aka Wonder Woman. And that's like our first glimpse of like Lex not being the Lex we wanted to be, where he's just doing that weird ass speech.
He's giving this speech, right? And this speech, first of all, doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't know a good goddamn thing he was saying. And then second of all, he was like, oh my God, did I leave my oven on? He just like had this like air that he wasn't like 100% there. Like there was a marble missing in the jar. We don't know which one though, because we're not sure who's here. But he's just like, and my favorite thing about that sequence was like when he was done being twitchy and gross, he like everyone in the room's kind of like, whatever, the shrimp is good though.
Is your phone going off? How unprofessional.
You know what? Yes.
So then Bruce and Clark meet. You kind of get the sense that they like already know, or at least like Clark hears Alfred talking to Bruce, and he's like, I guess he like you're supposed to infer that they put it together because like the next time they see each other, or like when they have the big fight, like they say Bruce and Clark, and you're just like, oh, I guess you know. I don't know how, but sure. Yeah,
that's the thing is that they never. They while they did try to like push things under the rug by telling us things, those were the things that weren't important. The important things they never told us. I have so many questions. It's just like, what? It's like I felt like I was taking calculus again. I don't get where it is. How did you solve for X, bitch? Because I don't know what you meant. Neither here nor there, but still.
Bruce puts the whatever thing to get the information he needs from Lex, and Diana steals it.
Diana walks in and she's just like, you know what, Patty.
But that fun, like as Bruce is walking downstairs to retrieve whatever the thing is that he's using to steal Lex's information, Clark is literally right behind him. And it's like, how, like, world's greatest detective, motherfucker. How do you not, it's not like he's sneaking around a corner. He is five steps behind you. What are you doing?
And my thing is like, yes, he's the world's greatest detective. He's not a super powered human being. But meanwhile, Superman is. Superman doesn't have to follow anybody anywhere. He can just look through the entire Earth. Like, I don't understand.
Why do you have to follow him, Clark? You have X-ray vision. Like that
exactly.
That has actually been proven canonically in this mythology, Man of Steel. So use it. Why are we following him? Everyone's making dumb decisions.
And nobody's like inconspicuous. That's the thing. It's just like, how have you guys been able to do this for so long? Because you guys suck at this. You guys are very obvious. Like, he's always like, oh, gotta go. There's a catastrophe happening. Mm-hmm. I'm a reporter. Bye. Just a mild-mannered reporter.
So what do we have next? What happens after that? Unnecessariness is what it is.
Yeah. Does it? I don't know. Okay, so.
In that you find out that if Batman brands a person, that they end up being killed in jail, within this mess. And then
what happens next is Mexico.
Oh, yes. We have the montage of Superman doing these heroic deeds, and then juxtaposed with asking the questions of like whether or not Superman being here is a good idea, and like what does it mean to have a Superman, which we will get into that montage later a little bit more. And then we have the Congress hearing,
which is a fucking mess.
Which is a mess. And you have the guy who was he was part of Wayne Financial, and he got his legs amputated. Smushed. They were smushed in the carnage in the beginning scene. That's the end of Man of Steel, and his legs are amputated, and he's testifying against Superman so that Superman can be held responsible. And it's this like weird, like you don't quite know, like Bruce is getting these checks that he was sending him. He was getting them back, and he was like, all these things were written on them, like you did, like once your family died, and like you're like, where did this come from? What is happening?
It was one of those things where the movie was like, oh shit, we're going to this place, but nobody knows how we got there. So let's just go and let's film this fucking scene where Batman is getting these fucking checks, and that's it. We're good.
We're good.
I got you.
And the scene before where the congresswoman, was she a senator?
She's a senator.
The senator had talked to Lex, and they had a weird conversation about angels and demons, which would have been profound if
it wasn't
Jesse Eisenberg. I don't want to say he did a bad job, but just I feel like the acting choice.
He did three different good jobs.
Yeah, the acting choice he picked. So it's like this profound scene of like, what is it? Devils come from the
devils come from above, not from below.
And it's like with this, he keeps referencing his father, and it's like, should I move anything in this room? My dad wouldn't. I don't know if he would like if we approve. And you're just like, what the fuck are you talking about,
which
bro?
Makes Lex Luthor like the ultimate tweak with daddy issues.
God.
I just feel like his whole obsession with like Superman and all that just comes from the fact that he just thinks that he's hot. Like he's just like, you're too hot for this world.
I mean, that's where Joker's obsession comes from. Joker wants to fuck Batman or like be fucked by Batman.
Joker just wants the bat dick. He just wants that utility belt. You know what I mean? But anyway, getting off topic. How many times has he
actually said he's like, I'm in love with you?
So many times. And I just want canically gay Joker to just be like, I'm so gay for you. Like shut up, Harley.
I feel like Joker's pan. I feel like in everything in life, he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care.
Joker's really into the slapstick comedy.
You're gross. Oh my God. Back to topic. So then Lex puts a bomb in this dude's wheelchair, and the guy who was his legs were amputated, and everything blows up. And I feel like that was the moment for Superman to make his case. And then it's just, he doesn't get to say a word.
That's the thing is just like, yes, I understand the like planning that was happening, but all I really needed was for Superman to just give me a speech. In which, like, I'm not trying to fuck anything up, you guys. I'm trying to help you guys. Mm-hmm. And then he's like, I think it would have been such a poignant moment if he was just like, guys, I'm trying to help. Like, all I am is I'm here because I want to love and be a good person and all that. And I just want to look towards the future and see any disasters coming. Boom! Like, that's what I want.
Oh my God.
Did I break it? I'm sorry.
You did it a little bit.
I got excited. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I do think that would have been a more point. And then, like, if Superman was actually blamed for it, like, even though he gave this, like, poetic speech about, like, why I'm here for humankind, and, like, I just want to be a beacon of hope and good, and then for him to be blamed for it. But, like, everyone's, like, because they detected the bombs in the wheelchair, and they're like, oh, it was a terrorist attack.
Yeah. Like, I think that it would have given the people more reason to try to understand Superman, because as this far, everyone is just like, but I don't get him. Mm-hmm. Where did he come from? What is he for? And for him to finally have that moment to be like, this is me. Mm-hmm. It would have been such a powerful moment for Henry Cavill's portrayal of Superman, because there were no other moments for Superman.
Yeah, and then
there just weren't.
Bruce and Diana meet, and Diana gives him back the hard drive, and he sees the hard drive, and he sees that Lex is monitoring metahumans, and it's this like really shoehorned, like, here's the Justice League.
Like, Lex Luthor gives everybody their
symbols. Like, he's made their symbol. I don't know if he's given them their names, but they all have, like, the hard drive has their symbols, and like Diana at some point, because Bruce emails her back all the stuff. Yeah. and because she couldn't decrypt it. She couldn't decrypt it, so he decrypted it for her, and he sends her all the stuff, and so she's opening the files, and you get these like little video clips of here's the Flash, and here's Cyborg, and here's Aquaman.
Fine ass Aquaman coming from the depths to get that pussy. Sorry, I love Aquaman.
What? Where did that even come from?
My attraction to Aquaman, obviously.
Oh my god. Jesus.
I told you guys, I'm messy. I'm a scammer.
Oh my god, I can't stand you. Anyway, so fast forward through some bullshit. You find out I need you to get it together.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm professional.
Fast forward some bullshit. Batman, because like he was getting these checks back and he was like, oh, it's all my fault. I hate Superman more. He like sets up this elaborate thing to destroy Superman, and then Lex kidnaps Superman's mom, and Lex is like, here's my whole plan. Like, I made Batman hate you, and now I have your mom. And because I need everyone to know that you're a shit person, go kill Batman or I'm gonna kill your mom.
Also, look at all these weirdly pornographic shots I have of your mom.
Oh my god!
Let me throw them at you.
Where she looks dead already. Like,
yeah, it was just real. Like, they weren't necessary. They just felt weird to me.
They did
just
feel weird.
Felt like pedophilia or something. I don't know. And it's like reverse pedophilia, but whatever. It's like, what's that called? It's just like the way that they presented the images was just like super close-ups of her face. And it was just gross. The way it made me feel was just like, oh, you got way too close to her, Lex.
It was weird.
Were you licking her? Like, that's how I felt. But anyway.
So then the fight actually happens, which is maybe 10 minutes, if even.
Yeah.
And unnecessary. So unnecessary, because Clark comes and he's like, he says Bruce, he comes and he's just like, hey, Bruce, this, like, he's trying to tell him what's actually going on. And then these like sound waves hit him and he destroys them. And he's just like, no, let me just talk to you. Let me just talk to you. Like, this is what's happening. And then he walks again and some guns go off and he destroys the guns. And then he's just like, I guess we fighting, bitch. And it's like, you are Superman. Fly into the sky.
Right?
Like, right? You didn't have to keep walking. Fly into the sky, back up a little bit and be like, hey, bruh, he has my mom.
Even more than that, like Superman has like the ability to make a fucking like typhoon ass wind with one breath. Just be like, yo, calm down. You know what I mean?
Something. Like, the fight was so unnecessary. And then at the end, where like finally, like Bruce is going to kill him with
like Batman's about to gank a bitch.
Like, he's really about to kill this motherfucker, which we'll get into of Batman killing people. He's about to kill him with his kryptonite spear, and he's like, "Save her! You have to save Martha!" And it's like, Bruce is like, "What the fuck? What do you know that name for? What are you saying this name for? What is going on? What are you doing?" And it's like all of a sudden Lois Lane, because they have this telepathic connection, so she always knows where he is.
And she always knows
he already
shit
knows
that
where
she shouldn't know. Like, she's one hell of a fucking journalist, because like she knows shit that she shouldn't
teleport.
know.
Like, she can teleport. She just ends up in places.
And she's always just like, she's moving and she's just like, oh shit, I got a scoop. Like, she's like, I better go get the spear. Anyway.
And she's like, it's his mom. And you're just like, and then you're supposed to take away from that. It's like, and then you have like the flashbacks of his mom being killed. And you're just like, oh, Bruce's mother's name was Martha too. We're friends.
It was like Orphan Bros. Like, he was just like, don't let me be an orphan too.
I'm going to save your mom because I couldn't save mine. And it's like, has no one ever thought of this before? It's so stupid that no one did it. Cause
how it's never been addressed. I personally think that it's like,
we've always known it's like, but no one's ever made a storyline out of it because maybe
it's stupid.
Like, I haven't read every single comic, so I don't know if it's ever been like addressed, but like no one's
not because it's dumb. Like, now I get you because our parents have the same name.
Or like at least uses a plot point where it's just.
I think it should have been used as a left-hand joke.
Yeah, like, just I don't think it needs to be a plot point. And so then you have the ending where Lex like figures out that they haven't killed each other, so he unleashes Doomsday, which we don't really know how he made Doomsday.
Yeah,
he's just
one of the questions. He was just like, let me just cut my hand open for no apparent reason.
In this weird yellow liquid I'm standing in with General Zod's body, and I'm going to cut my hand
pure
open.
urinal that I'm in. This alien-ass urinal. Let me throw some blood in there, and you know what's going to happen? A monster. That's how I know. That's who I am. I'm a genius.
So Bruce goes and saves Clark's mom, and one of the, I think, good points of it, like, we finally see Batman move the way Batman should move.
Which is, like, I just know somebody somewhere was like, play this fucking Arkham game. Play it! Just play it and make it happen, because what is this I can't move my shoulders bullshit? Like, I need
can't look
you.
around.
My neck is stationary. I'm Batman.
All I can do is throw right hooks.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah. So I'm glad that they finally addressed that. It only took 20, 30 years. I don't know.
How anticlimactic is like the Bane and Batman fight, besides like the whole movie being a joke, but but like that fight is so just like, it's just punch, punch, fall back, punch, punch. It's like, this isn't exciting, but that's the Chris Nolan Batmans. We won't talk about that.
We won't talk about that mistake.
So then Doomsday comes, and after Bruce saves Martha, Doomsday comes and Wonder Woman shows up.
No, what happens is Bruce is like, oh shit, he's a Kryptonian. So this Jesus spear that I made to kill Superman because he's Jesus to me, I'm going to kill him with the spear.
I really hate the fact that they keep using Superman as like a Christ figure when he's really not.
He's not. He's really not. He's not here to forgive no one of his sins. He's making sins with Lois in a bathtub.
Oh,
God. But anyway, so he's like, oh, shit, that spear is in Gotham. Another point that really pisses me off is that Gotham and Metropolis are twin cities. They're right next to each other. So
I don't really hate that idea.
I do. And you want to know why I do?
Why?
Because it makes no fucking sense that this is the first time these two fuckers have met. Because they're literally like,
Superman just started Superman. It's only been like, what, 18 months or something?
And you're telling me in that 18th month, somebody hasn't fucked up in Gotham to the point where like buildings are falling down? Because if I know Gotham, somebody's fucking up something. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so he's like, oh shit, I left that magic spear in Gotham, so I have to lead this monster to my city where innocent people are living, away from this block where nothing is happening, apparently.
The island that they were very specific to mention. No one's on this island. He landed on this deserted island, guys.
And as he's like going over there,
please don't criticize us like you criticized Man of Steel.
Yeah, they were like, please, we're trying to get the receipts, guys. We're trying. And so, like, he's like leading him towards Gotham, and he gets fucked up, as he would do, because this is Doomsday. Doomsday's here to fuck shit up. Like, that's his whole thing. And so he's getting his ass kicked, and he's about to die.
Yeah, he's like, oh shit.
And then here comes Wonder Woman. And I appreciated that.
I do appreciate, like, Wonder Woman is there. She exists. She looks like Wonder Woman. She fights like...
She has 3 lines, but she's
fights
there.
Like Wonder Woman. But
she was there to be like you said to me earlier, you were like, she was like, 2017, bitch. Like, just like
her whole purpose is just like, hey, my movie's coming out.
For real.
Because it's really just setting up her movie, but like not in a very like Iron Man 2 kind of way, where it's just like
a very roundabout situation,
unnecessary and not fun. But she looks like Wonder Woman. She fights like Wonder Woman. She's badass like Wonder Woman, but she doesn't her character isn't explained. So it's like, I can't fully enjoy her the way I want to enjoy her. But she, like, when she was fighting Doomsday and like she got knocked down, she smiled. She's like, oh bitch, that's how we playing it. Like, it's just like, that's my Wonder Woman.
She's I fought actual gods, motherfucker. Let's do this. I felt that. I was like, we're here, Diana.
I just wish, like, I'm excited to see a Wonder Woman movie, especially it's like a woman director. So I'm excited to see that continuation of this universe. Well, no, they're filming. I was supposed to say if it continues because this movie was so bad.
Holy Hera. But so Wonder Woman jumps in and she's like, bam. And then for some reason, Lois is just like, news alert, better go get this fucking spear.
That I threw away into the water.
I don't know how. One, I don't know how she knew.
How does she know to get it?
Yeah, I don't know. That's never explained. Is Lois a psychic? Like, is she the next?
Like, because, like, how does she know it's like, does she have an earpiece? Like, how does she know it's a Kryptonian that she needs to go get this spear that she threw away?
I don't know. Maybe she had a vision like Raven. You know what I mean? I just feel like she looked into the future and life was a dream for a second. But whatever. So she goes to get the spear and starts dying.
And Superman knows she's dying. Well, he can hear her banging, so.
Her uterus.
She can hear her, so he saves her, he gets the spear, and then in another Christ move, he sacrifices himself and kills Doomsday and then dies, and it's very Death of Superman comic book, like they have the black.
And I felt nothing. I was like, ooh, where's my refill for my milkshake?
It's very like the casket has the black and silver Superman symbol. It's like anyone who knows anything about comics, it's like, oh, you're doing this, I guess.
When I was introduced to that storyline in the comics, I remember I read that part where Superman is dead first. I didn't read the rest of it. I read that later. But in those 4 or 5 pages where I saw Superman dead, I cried. And yet during this whole excessively long movie, I felt nothing. Except maybe a little, like, chuckle in my insides.
Because it means nothing. Because, like, we don't know who Superman is. Like, the comics have is fortunate enough that, like, they have 70 years of this character who has pretty much been the same character. Like, they evolve and change with the times, but they're still, the essence of Superman is still Superman. So when even though if you're not reading comics, if you pick up the Death of Superman, like, it hurts to see, like, this symbol of hope is destroyed. And, like, that's what comic books are. Like, we all know that Superman's not dead. No one stays dead in comics. Like, what was the old saying? Like, no one stays dead in comics except for Jason Todd and Bucky Barnes, and
then them bitches rose too.
Look where we are now.
I just feel like, I don't know, because the way that this story was told, I just feel like it's just like, sorpresa puta, Zack Snyder is Lex Luthor and he hates Superman the most. You know what I mean? That's how I feel. It's not good, guys. And he dies and he's not dead, obviously. And then Bruce is like, for him, we have to, like, find the other metas and we have to, like, honor his memory. It's just like, you literally were trying to kill him maybe 5 minutes ago. Yeah. Maybe 5. And I just, like, it just came out of nowhere. He was like, for Martha. Like,
it's like, what? Like, we need to honor his memory. Like, you're not even like when
you don't know him.
When he saves Martha, he's just like, I'm a friend of your son. Real? That was literally actually 5 minutes ago. Yeah. we were trying to stab a spear through his heart.
I'm a friend of your son. Okay.
Are we?
Are you guys friends? I can't deal with that. That disappointed me as a human person. Because, like, I don't know. I'm a very, like, nice person. But you will never catch me saying 5 minutes later, that's my friend. That's my friend, girl. No.
It would have been better. I know your son. I'm here to help you.
Your son sent me.
Just like, we're friends. Okay. That's a lot.
And when his son did send him to go save Martha, Batman's murdering bitches.
Just straight up murdering bitches.
Right. He country fried that man. He burnt him.
Threw a grenade right into the other guy's face. Just killing motherfuckers left and right.
You legit, it looked like a scene out of fucking Grand Theft Auto. He was just like, grenade! Like, you know? Like, I just can't deal with that. Anyway, this movie is shit.
All in all, there's like some good moments, but in all, it's just, it left me feeling empty. It left me feeling sad. Like, I literally, as soon as the credits started rolling, I jumped out of my seat and walked out. Like, I was the first one out of that motherfucker. I was over it.
And I was sitting next to her, and she just like pumps out of there, and I was like, ooh, ooh. I don't even have my coat. I need to get my shit. All right. Okay.
I was over it. And
she jumped. Like, I've never seen her move that fast. And I've seen her, like, with alcohol in the vicinity. I've seen her that way. Anyway, neither here nor there. Okay, so, like, now we're going to talk about, we have the general summary, even though it's probably been an hour. But that's the general summary of this shithole movie. And we're just going to talk about why it's a shitty movie.
Well, I think we should talk about what we liked about it first.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I enjoyed that Batman is Batman to a degree. Batman moves like Batman. Batman dresses like Batman. Batman and Alfred are here.
Batman and Alfred's relationship was my favorite part of the movie. Like, they understood each other. It was Alfred and Batman. Like, their chemistry was so good. Jeremy Irons as Alfred is hilarious. Like, I want that movie. Like, even though I don't agree with Zack Snyder's Batman to the extent of him killing people, I don't think Robin's outfit with the joke's on you written on it.
Bullshit ass cameo. Okay, so Robin's cameo was supposed to be this is why Batman is a murderer.
Yeah. And it's that's not enough to convince me that the man who never who vowed to never hold a gun in his whole life is now just straight up barbecuing bitches.
Yeah, and it's the thing is
running over them with the Batmobile, just straight up murdering. Cause you could convince me with the branding, because I feel like you in a certain world after Robin, I would be convinced of well, I'm not killing them. I could see him deluding himself into that. But
I actually think that would be a beautiful response to what happened to Jason, because
if it's Jason.
But it has to be Jason, because in my idea that it has to be Jason, because it's the Joker brands Jason with a J.
Yeah.
And I think that would be such a beautiful response to that. Oh, well, you did that to this person that I was supposed to protect. Now every villain who is now you murdering clown motherfucker, every single one of them is going to be branded. Mm-hmm. Everyone's going to know that Batman beat this ass.
But outside of the killing, I really enjoyed Ben Affleck's Batman. I am looking forward to a Ben Affleck Batman movie. I think that movie is the Batman movie I've always wanted outside of the killing. But
no, but okay. So my thing is I just really want DC to get over the DC movieverse, to get over its whole "we're not Marvel" thing, because what's problematic about this movie is that there are too many goddamn movies.
There's so many movies happening in one movie.
And the way that Marvel,
Does your phone go off again?
You know what? The Walking Dead is happening and people are telling me about it. You know what? Anyway. But, there are too many movies going on in this movie, and Marvel solved that over-explaining this movie's too long bullshit by creating a universe that is webbed to all of these different movies. Mm-hmm. And instead of doing that, Marvel or DC wanted to be let's bring these three characters together.
DC just wants to get to the Justice League movie as fast as possible, instead of putting in the work because they don't want to seem like Marvel. They don't want to do here's our Superman movie, here's our Batman movie, here's our Wonder Woman movie, here's our Flash movie, here's our Aquaman movie, here's our Green Lantern movie. Justice League.
And that's the only way to do it,
and
though.
even if you don't want to do it like all of that, you could really just do the DC Trinity. You could just do the Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman movie. That's all you need to bring everyone else together. And then you could bring all the people of the Justice League and then go from there, branch out and have their own movies and like have the Flash movie afterwards and have the Green Lantern movie afterwards.
And I agree. And I think that I personally think that's the route they should have gone. But I mean, if you've watched like the DC animated universe, like in Justice League, the animated series, we meet all of these people in one episode because there's some shit happening. We meet them all separately. Mm-hmm. And then some shit happens on this, like, this is some earth ending shit. Mm-hmm. Like, you better go to Walmart. Everything's on sale. Everything must go because we're going to die. Like, they come together because they don't have a choice. And then afterwards, they're like, who the fuck are you? And then they get to know each other and it's beautiful. Mm-hmm.
And that's like a 3-part episode.
Yeah. And that's the length of a movie, you guys.
Well, no, it's like the length of a short movie.
A short movie, you guys. I rest my fucking case.
And the other thing I really liked about the movie was the montage sequence of like
they gave some
besides
montage.
The white savior moment in Mexico.
I'm Mexican and I was upset.
Oh, it's like in the middle of Dia de los Muertos.
I was just like, no, Mr. Superman was here. I know, I was best.
But I enjoyed that sequence because I liked the juxtaposition of like, here's Superman, being a good person, going out of his way to save people because that's like, it's his responsibility. Like, not to sound cliche,
he's the only one who can do
it. With great power comes great responsibility. And he understands, or is supposed to understand that, mm-hmm. and goes out of his way because he's just like, well, I can, so I should.
Yeah, the only thing that's stopping me from helping people is me.
So let me go do this. And so you have him saving that rocket. You have him saving the people from the flood with the Superman symbol on.
Which I thought was the most beautiful shot in the whole movie.
That was really like he's coming down like in the Christ-like figure again, but
like, no, to me that read more like I'm an angel. Like I'm here to serve the people. Because his cape is just blowing in the wind and you don't even get to see his face. Like the sun is behind him. Mm-hmm. So it's just like that to me was just anyone. Like he was the force of good. Mm-hmm. That's what I wanted to see instead of this like bullshit with the spear and the Lord and all that. Like the Lord wasn't in this movie. Let's not pretend he was.
And that juxtaposed with the news anchors and philosophers and all that being like, well, is he a force of good or is he like, what, like, even if we wanted to save him, like, even if we wanted to stop him, like, can we, like, what does it mean to have a Superman in this world? And I think like that's the modern take that we should be taking on Superman. Like in the 1950s, it's like, I stand for truth, justice, and the American way up until the Christopher Reeve like, movies.
Cool.
Yeah. Everyone just kind of goes with it, even up until the Christopher Reeves movies, because Christopher Reeves just fucking sells it. He's just like, he stands there and you're just like, yeah, you do. You stand for truth, justice, and the American way. Yeah, you do. And I feel like in a more modern society, instead of just like us being like this benevolent force of good, we're just like, he's a benevolent force of good, but like, is he always going to be like, what do we know about him? He's an alien. He's foreign to us. Like, because even if we wanted to stop him, we can't. And that's a problem. Yeah.
And I think that's like the idea of like, we as a society are more distrusting. We're more cynical. But like, I think Superman's job is to prove to us that this is what he's here for. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we completely lacked. We did not get that. Superman didn't even say, hey, girl, this is me.
Superman doesn't really exist in this movie. He doesn't have, like, I feel like he just is there. Like, he just is there just because, like, this is really a Batman movie with Superman because they wanted to do Batman versus Superman. So Superman by default has to be in it, but, like, they're just shoehorning it in without, like, he never actually gets to say what he stands for. He never, like, he barely has any lines. And the one time he does have, say what I stand for, he's like, not everyone stays good in this world, Lois.
And everyone is upset.
Like, that's when, like, I really love the DC characters. The DC characters make me feel at home. They make, like, I love them. And, like, I started to tear up at that moment because I was like, what are you doing to this character? Like,
I had the opposite reaction. I was like,
you
okay.
You laughed. I was just like mad, just like angry tears, just like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, this is the approach we're taking?
And I was like, I'm a messy queen who lives for drama.
But that's really all of the good things that I can say about this movie.
Yeah. And like, it just didn't do what was necessary because it tried to do too many things that were unnecessary.
Yeah, as you said before, there was like five, like, I don't know, there are 5 movies, but there's like multiple movies in this. And like, I feel like it's the barely Man of Steel sequel.
Yeah, because it's not even. I don't even think it is. The only thing that makes it a sequel is that Henry Cavill came back. Like,
a Batman movie, a Lex Luthor movie, barely a Batman versus Superman movie, and the beginnings of a Justice League
movie. Yeah, and
it's like all of these different I feel like there's some people who do like this movie, and I feel like they like it because there are great moments in it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is like each of these movies that we're talking about have strong storylines. The problem is that none of them have connections to each other. Mm-hmm. I remember the beginning, like, flow of the film was so fucking disjointed that I was just like, where are we?
The editing is so bad in this movie. It's just, I think I know what you're talking about, the moment where the amputee is like looking at a collage that he's made. Like,
he's looking at his serial killer wall yeah. where he's like, you know, like connecting shit with thread and shit. Like, this is Teen Wolf. And
even if it is, like, and honestly, like, with 100% certainty, I couldn't tell you if it was his wall.
I couldn't.
Like, cause it's just such bad. And then all of a sudden, like, the camera, it's not even like there's a cut. It's just like a pan. And then all of a sudden he's in front of the statue. And I was like, wait, how did we get here? And
I was like, huh? Okay. Superpower. I was just like, he has a superpower,
like,
right?
What I hear are like the editing moment where Perry is like, "Where's Clark? Where's
Did he click his heels and get back to Kansas?"
And like, pause.
Who wrote that line?
Yeah, before we even get to like where we end up in the film after that, which obviously you would think we're in Kansas with Clark. And like, outside of the fact that we don't end up there.
We don't end anywhere near there.
Which just makes no sense. Like, that should never be, like, it's a very, very childish line.
It's a childish transition.
It's a childish transition that's like, you would think that that's going to be the critique that's just like, oh, really? That's how you're going to transition? That's just like, no.
We're going to go to Lois. And you know what? From Lois, we're going to go to Lex. And you know what? We're going to go over there and we're going to go over here. Where is Superman? I don't even know. Let's go back to Lois.
Yeah. I think it's like Zack Snyder got a whole, like, because Warner Brothers is betting everything on this movie. And so I feel like Zack Snyder just got a whole bunch of notes, studio notes, and was just like, put this in the movie, make this happen. And he did that. And I think that's why it has good moments, because Zack Snyder is a very good visual director. Yeah. Like, he can make things look fucking beautiful.
Which is just like this. I feel like this movie like failed in spite of himself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, he did his damnedest to make it fucking pretty. And as somebody who's very interested in like the art direction and the cinematography and how things look, I appreciate that. There were so many moments where I was just like, that is gorgeous. Mm-hmm. But who cares? Because
you're not telling me a good story.
Yeah.
I need a story behind this. And I think John Golson tweeted something that I think is really like poignant into like what the film is, where he says Batman vs. Superman is a loose collection of possibly unrelated clips from the most expensive fan film ever made.
Exactly. It was a badly made fan fiction. Badly. and we've read some bad ones, you guys.
and ends the tweet with oppressive and phony is a bad combination, because it does feel phony. It feels like it feels like a studio making a film that they feel like they have to make because superheroes are the thing now.
Yeah. And it was so funny because like the oppressive thing was very real, because I turned to you because you check your phone and we're not supposed to be doing that. Right. And you're just like, I have to pee so bad. And it's like only been maybe an hour.
It was an hour. The movie started at noon and it was 1. And I was like, motherfucker, like this has felt like forever. I'm over it. Like I was over it an hour into the movie, and it's an hour and a half. It's 2.5 hours. Like, whew, I was over it.
I just like, and like, okay, so this film is just badly constructed. And I just feel like, if you can't be more than one. You can be a badly made movie with a great story, or you can be a greatly made movie with an okay story. Mm. You know what I mean? But this one had really neither.
Yeah.
It had too much going on for anybody to sustain giving a fuck. And it wasn't good enough, like it wasn't made well enough to trick me into liking it.
Yeah.
Because it was trying to. And I was just like, you bitch. Don't you lie to me.
No, you're right. And it was just heartbreaking. It was, and like I went into it trying to be as open-minded as possible, because we'd read a couple of reviews and they were all from our favorite reviewers, and they were all just
bad,
scathing. Just,
they hurt me. They hurt my feelings.
The one from GQ, like where the headline was Batman versus Superman will make you hate Batman, Superman, and the Justice League. It then goes on to say, this film is so bad, it wears you down and makes you wonder if there's ever such a thing as a hero anyway. And that hurt my feelings.
Yeah,
like
I was like, offense, that's rude. Because that's not how you should go away from a Superman movie.
Like outside of a DC like heroes movie, like you shouldn't leave a Superman movie feeling that way, because like the reason I like DC, and not that I like it more than Marvel, but the way that DC connects with me in a way I feel like Marvel doesn't, is because these heroes are meant to be the best of us.
They're meant to be ideal.
They're meant to be like what we should aspire to. And I feel like Scott Snyder said it best, where he was saying that the reason we enjoy these characters is because they are the pinnacle of who we are at our best. And if Superman can get through this awful thing, this like horrible thing that feels like you can't get out of it, if he can do it, so can I. Yeah. And like, that's what a good story is supposed to make you. Like a story is supposed to be a reflection of yourself. And you're supposed to come away feeling awe-inspired. And the fact that like you don't even know if you believe in heroes like that's how you feel, even like that hurt my feelings.
It was so like, it was stressful. But like good moviegoers, we decided to hurt ourselves anyway and go see it. But that popcorn was bottomless, so who really
The popcorn was bottomless. They have alcoholic milkshakes. I mean, like if we're gonna go,
we're gonna go.
Treat yourself.
Exactly. So, apart from it being like a bad movie, as DC fans, there are just so many problematic things, and we've touched upon them. But for me, like, I like that in DC, like the villains are also like they always say like DC, the heroes are these like godlike figures. And the villains are like real people and bad shit just happened to them. Mm-hmm. And I love that about them. But I feel like the
DC villains are the reason that people like them so much and why I feel like that's what DC's crux is, because like these heroes are kind of godlike. There are myths almost. And like the reason people like DC is because the villains are so relatable. It's just it's like this one thing happened that made them turn left instead of right.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're usually reflections of the hero, which makes us see the flaw in the hero. It's just like, and Reverse Flash is like what happens to Flash if Flash went left. Like Ocean Master is a bad they're reflections, like which is why they work so well with.
They're literally
and they're memorable.
The choice, the opposite choice. Yeah. And like for me, Batman's villains are all this idea of obsession.
Mm-hmm.
Every single one of them. Poison Ivy is obsessed with protecting the universe, not the universe, the world, not the meat bags, just the flowers. But like all of them have this like impenetrable will that they are going to get this thing that they want, just like Batman does. But like for me, Lex Luthor, I didn't give a shit this movie because we didn't get to know him. All we got was I'm a little twitchy. I have a fetish for candy. I hate myself. I hate art that's right side up. I think urinals are cool. That's where I make my monsters. I don't know where you make yours. Probably Build-A-Bear Workshop.
You're so... Oh my God. I can't with you.
But the thing is like, that's the thing is all of these characters, instead of being these fleshed out, imperfect beings with all of this intellect and power or whatever, depending on who it is, all we got were these like empty ass corn husk motherfuckers. Like, and I'm sitting here like, where's my tamale though? You know what I mean? Like, I got none of the tamale goodness.
And we're supposed to believe that all of this, like all of Lex's problems stem because my dad hit me. Like,
yeah, which
it's just
was
all,
a one line, which was like a one, like,
it's just like we keep
my
mentioning
parents were mean.
we keep mentioning my dad, and then like at the end it's just like, yeah, I like if God was real, then he would have stopped my dad from hitting me. And like, and that's the thing, like they have these great, like that line of just like, you can't be all powerful and all good. Yeah. Like, or you can't be all good and all powerful. Like that is a great line that's just fucking wasted.
Yeah. There were so many beautiful things that would have just, that there was so much potential, and you just let it fall to the floor and mean nothing because you didn't take the time to show me that you knew these characters, that these characters mattered to you. Because I'm here to tell you, bitch, they matter to me. That's my homie. I told Clark his glasses don't fucking work. You know what I mean? I was like, that shit don't work. But neither here nor there. It's just, it doesn't.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating to like these characters so much and then just like continuously see just bad movies that don't represent them. And like, not even like that you have to be completely canon to the comics, but like you have to tell me a story. Like you have to you have to put in the work to the characters.
Everything has to have a reason.
Like let me believe in your Batman. Let me believe in your like I'm not a huge fan of the Christopher Nolan movies, but the reason like Christopher Nolan can tell a good story. Yeah, and like, so like I'm willing to go with your Batman, even though if it's not like specifically my Batman, the Batman I love, but I'm gonna run with you with this story because you have set up and told the story of your Batman, and I need that work to be put in.
Exactly. And if we look, like, DC ain't fucking up everywhere. Go turn on fucking ABC. Go turn on fucking the WB. These motherfuckers, or CBS, that's who I meant.
CBS.
That's who I meant. Sorry, ABC.
ABC is Marvel.
But, like, look at these TV shows. Like, Oliver Queen in Arrow isn't my Oliver Queen. My Oliver Queen is probably smoking reefer somebody, like, fighting the man. Like...
with Laurel.
Yeah, with Laurel.
With Diana Laurel Lance. And I really I need them never to be together in this show.
Never. And that's not my Oliver Queen.
In the comics, I want Oliver Queen and Black Canary to be together. That's just how it is. But like they've set up the story where I'm just like, Olicity. All right, here we are.
Here we the fuck are. Like I am here for that because in every fucking episode, Oliver's like, hey, some shit is going on. And then we take it back. We take it back to where, how long was he on this fucking island?
5 years.
But how many things can happen in 5 years is my shit.
All of the things, apparently.
Apparently you can be everywhere in 5 years. But anyway, we go back to see why is this important.
Mm-hmm. And they put in the work, because I remember when I first started watching Arrow, and I was just like, oh my God, he's killing people. Like, he's doing this. He's like, this isn't my Oliver. Like, this isn't my Green Arrow. Like, what is he doing? There's just like, and then by the end of the first season, you're just like, oh, storytelling, characterization. We're like, growing we're growing as a character. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I jumped to conclusions.
Yeah, you kind of like chastise yourself for being like, oh, like that's what you come into this like with your preconceived notions instead of just letting someone tell the story. Yeah. Meanwhile, with Batman versus Superman, it was the other fucking way around. We decided to go and blank slate.
Or as blank as we could be. But like, we really did. We're just like, okay, we're not gonna hate this movie off the bat. Like, let's really just like, let's just watch a movie.
I know I had a good time.
As film goers.
Let's go get this bottomless popcorn. Let's drink this milkshake. Let's watch this movie. And we left so unhappy. Like, we stood outside in the sun and we were just like, I just need a minute. And we bitched about it the entire cab.
I quit smoking after college and I had a cigarette because
I had not quit smoking after college. I'm working on it.
Because a smoker's a smoker when the chips are down. My bad. Don't smoke, guys.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't fucking do it. Anyway. It just seemed like such this beautiful potential squandered by someone who doesn't care enough to even like pick up a comic or look at Wikipedia to see who these people are. And even if you were going to be subtle and gritty and dark and all that shit, like there's a way to do it. And this was not the way. And
I feel like Batman vs. Superman is just such a cop out, like as David Goyer said in a 2005 interview. I think it's 2005. Yeah, it's 2005. David Goyer is one of the co-writers for the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batmans, and he said Batman versus Superman is where you go when you admit to yourself you've exhausted all possibilities. It's Frankenstein meets the werewolf. It's Freddy versus Jason. It's somewhat of admission that we have nothing else. And
he is also one of the writers for Batman versus Superman. And he was like, we don't have anywhere else to go but the bank because I got a check.
Here we are. And that's what it is. I feel like Batman vs. Superman is just a cash grab. It's just like, I am in this industry and this is what's hot and let's do it. And I feel like I haven't checked the box office, but I feel like Devin Faraci's right, where it's like, it's going to be like the Transformers movies. It's going to be, critically, it's going to be like terrible. Everyone's going to say it's an awful movie. It's going to make around 300,000 domestic, and it's going to make bank worldwide. And it's like, and here we are. Like, I haven't looked at the box. I don't know if that's like what's happening at the moment, but I feel like that is what's going to happen.
I agree. I think that the problem with our industry is that money is the anthem.
Yeah.
And that's all that matters. And you just have to pledge allegiance to the bottom line. And that's our problem. We can't just make something good to be good. We have to balance the checkbook at the end of the day. Yeah. And that's why producers who don't give a shit about movies or storytelling or anything like that get such a big say in shit that goes on when they should stay in their fucking lane.
Have nothing to do with the creative process whatsoever.
Stay in your lane. Stop swerving. That's all I'm saying.
I think that wraps up all of our feelings about Batman versus Superman.
Yeah, that's it. We've bitched enough. Well, I hope you had a good time indulging us in our bitch fest. I know I had a good time. So please join us for episode 2, where we'll be discussing Civil War. It's going to be super fun. And I just really look forward to you guys hearing about it.
Yes, join us next time. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns about the episode, you can email us at mediarealness@gmail.com. And if you would like, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat, where you see what other shenanigans we get up to when we're not recording at Media Realness. And I think that's it. So join us next time.
Yeah, come on over. I am once again Aaron. And this week I'm serving that Superman realness in which I am barely present at all.
And I am Anansa, and I'm serving that Perry, I'm the only one who does their fucking job white realness. So please join us next time. We hope to see you later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.